You able to see the screen? Hello? Anyone? You able to see the screen?
Yes, yes, sir. Okay.
Are you able to hear? Are you able to hear me? Anyone?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, yes. And screen also visible.
Trading views. The trading view is not getting loaded. Just hold on for 2 minutes. So proper. The chart is not getting loaded. Yeah. I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing this for the point of view of spreading financial information and to give you an idea about the stock market. Okay. Now, February. Just one minute. I want to know you are able to see the screen and hear me. Somebody please reply. Hello.
Yes, we can see clearly.
And hear me also clear. As of 25th February, Friday, 2022, the Nifty crashed on Thursday by minus 816 and recovered immediately on the next day by around 400 points. So 25th evening, the Nifty stood at 1665.
If all others can mute, that will be good.
Yeah, I'll just it should be some. Okay. Now you can see that this is on the left. We have the various indices rather. 1 week, 1 month, 1 quarter, half year, 1 year, and 3 year. I collected this data today morning and made a form of a chart because individually you will not get the relevance. What I'm trying to convey here is if I see my first two rows, Nifty 50 and 100, both are large caps. What has happened to the large caps? The large caps performance is around -3 in 1 week. Similarly, -3.5 in around 1 week, 1 month. 1 quarter it is around -5. That is last 3 months. Last 6 months it is just positive. Last 1 year it has reduced. It has reduced to 10%, and last 3 years it is now. It used to be around 53-54%. Then if you see the Nifty mid cap, in 1 month it has fallen more by -5.8. Small cap has fallen by -10.78. Comparatively, if you see the large caps, it is -3.59, -3.53. See these two figures and this. Similarly, in the quarter, it has fallen by -9 and -11 to -5 compared to the large caps. But if you see the 1 year figures and the 3 years figures, the large cap के comparison में mid cap and small caps have given much better. If you see the small caps, it is 62% and the mid cap is 62% and the small cap is 94%. If you see the overall Nifty, the figures are like this. I could not get in this particular time this last figure. which I could have found out, but internet chala gaya, then I forgot also that one cell is left out. But if you see the overall Nifty 500, it is just in 1 year is around 12%. I understand that this 2 months have gone bad, but if you see properly, from October onwards, we have continuously decline is happening. Okay, and this decline is basically, the problem is happening because the uncertainty levels are increasing and markets have become little nervous. Okay, this I'll have to come later, because if the trading view is on, I can be able to show you. Yeah, just come by the grace of God. So let me show you some indices. Looking at the Nifty 50, things are everywhere it is not connected. मॉर्निंग में सब चल रहा था, लेकिन सडनली इंटरनेट डाउन हो गया, लाइट डाउन हो गया बेसिकली. Okay, because it's not on just now, so it will better. Now, what are the problems which are facing the market? What we see currently, the investors are moving from small and mid caps to large caps. Precisely, one of the reasons is to protect the capital. We are not worried about how much gains we'll have. We are okay with 12% to 15%. That is what we should be doing. Normally, in a bearish market moving sideways, you should stick to large caps, the top 100 ones. And if you are having good mid caps, even the large mid caps are good ones. Something like 15,000 crore upwards, 10, 12, 15,000 crore upwards. Those mid caps also relatively stable. Mid caps and small caps have a tendency to perform very well when the market is uptrending bullish, and vice versa, when it goes down very badly also. So when the markets are down, in exactly a similar manner, when the markets are down or sideways also to a large extent, the mid caps and small caps will stop performing. So our objective will be to stick to large caps at least till April, May, till we find the markets improving. How do we see in a particular stock the stock is doing well, or the index is doing well? Plot of 200 days moving average, and your prices should be above that. If it is above 100, very good. If it is above 50, all the more good. If it is above 20, excellent. So I should be looking at those stocks whose fundamentals are good, and they should be minimum about 200 or 100. उससे ज़्यादा हुआ तो अच्छी बात. Now this LMS, meaning large caps, mid caps, small caps ratio, in the current market situation, till the things improve, April, May, we should be in the percentage wise 70% in large caps, 20% in mid caps, and 10% in small caps. My portfolio is little more towards large cap. It is 80-10, 80 in large caps, and mid caps and small caps is only 20%, 10-10 rather. In improving markets, one should be moving towards a ratio of 40-30-20 of like 40-50% can be your large caps, because we don't know this market. अभी मार्केट ने डिस्काउंट कर लिया है कि ये चलेगा, वॉर कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा, दोनों जन दे आर शोइंग द पावर, बट अल्टीमेटली आई डोंट सी मेजर प्रॉब्लम इन द सिचुएशन अनलेस द पीपल अदर पार्टिसिपेंट्स स्टार्ट मेकिंग आर्म ट्विस्टिंग चालू कर देंगे. बट रशिया एज अ कंट्री इज मोर और लेस सेल्फ सफिशिएंट इन मैनी वेज, even requirement of the commodities and the crude and everywhere. So if you see your past, Crimea का annex हुआ, वो सब हुआ, Russia was not very much affected. Okay, all what they will be badly affected will be they will be losing the exports and the economy can come down. So वहाँ एक problem है उनके लिए, बड़ा problem है, because they can go bad in economy. But they have all good support from China. China will remain neutral, and to a large extent we are also neutral. China will be supporting them, but we are going to be remaining neutral because we cannot afford to go against the West and the European countries also. Okay. So you should hedge your portfolio. ये बीच में से जाता नहीं. Hedge your portfolio by increasing your investment in gold assets. Normally we can have 5% to 10% in gold, but you can increase to 15, 20 or even 25%. If you are around 50-60 years, invest around 20-25% in gold because it will be safer. Okay, but ये नहीं कि अभी मार्केट में स्टॉक्स लॉस में बेच के मैं गोल्ड लूँ, वैसा नहीं. Okay.
Virab, I'm
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
You're mentioning to hedge and increase the gold asset.
Yeah.
Would it be the nifty, the gold bees or something? Could you
Yeah,
tell us?
the best investment you can do is the sovereign bonds which are open just now for gold. That can be one. Second can be a physical gold. And the third can be, which I do it nowadays. Earlier I used to do physical gold, not bonds. The next best thing which I have started doing is ETFs. So I am buying gold bees Nippon ETFs. Earlier it used to be Reliance ETFs, but then it has shifted. It is called as gold bees. In ICICI Direct it is named as Gold X. I don't know the other sites, but gold bees are the ones which I am buying. And I started buying from 38, 39. It went up to 44. Okay, in the days when we had this problem of March 2020, the gold bees were around 51. Then it came down to 38, 39. It was on the Thursday, it was at 44. Then yesterday it has come back to 43 point something. So gold bees is a better, safer hedge. I'm not telling you to do options hedge. The reason
Right.
I'm telling you is we are long-term investors. I'm not doing only swing trading. I am doing long-term investment. So I don't want to spend 8%, 10% on the stock options because that is the cost on hedging. Instead, I would prefer to buy a gold and keep it as a hedge. In last 12 months, earlier year period, it was the gold was having negative return. But since the time the bad phase has started because of the COVID, gold's returns are increasing. So even if it is 11-12%, then what happens? If your market goes down and your gold is going up, that neutrality will happen and your investments will be little less negative compared to your earlier scenario. Okay.
Okay, Viraf, I'm going to ask a very silly question.
Yeah.
When you're buying your gold bees, okay, because I've never done that. So how would you do it? Like, do you buy 10? Like, is that what you say? You want 10 gold bees? Or
Buying a
it's
share
like
unit.
assuming gold bees is a share.
It
We
is
would
like
do
a
it
share
just
unit.
like buying a share, right?
Like a share unit. The difference between a index and the ETF is ETFs are bought any time of the day As the market goes up and down, you can buy. The expense ratios are in the range of 1% or little less than that. The expense ratios on the index is around 2.5%. Okay, so it is like exactly like buying your share, but it has to be done through a demat account only. Okay, it has to be done through a demat account. Just buying a share like. So you buy 50 units of gold, which is costing 43 point something. So you'll end up spending about something like 2,000 rupees for buying that much.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Now the 52-week high say Nifty currently has fallen down by 9.8%. Mid caps have fallen down by 14% approximately, and small caps around 15%. So what we see, the Nifty large caps have reasonably fallen, but your mid caps and small caps have fallen. And you must have seen your portfolios also. I will tell you my position. October it was 47% gains. December it became 34%. Yesterday evening I was evaluating my portfolio and looking at my percentage. On a CAGR basis it is just now 15%, and on IRR basis, internal rate of return, it is around 17%. So if your portfolio is doing better than any of this because of the fall in the market, okay, around 15%, 17%, it is reasonably good, because we cannot time the market and we have not to get worried about it. I'm just trying to tell you, don't get worried, because we have a tendency to get worried, upset. Okay, market will, अभी ये 400 पॉइंट ऊपर गया है ना, don't think के market बहुत ऊपर जाने चालू हो गया. I am telling you, these are just whipsaws which will happen, pullbacks which will happen. The unfortunate part is there is a continuous withdrawal of around 3-4,000 crores every day in this market, and this is happening because our problem is the FIs are removing money on a day-to-day basis. So last 5 months we are continuously getting the money is coming out of the market and DIs are adding. Now the question which I asked to somebody, how long the DIs will keep on adding, and I was very happy to find out that there is a big amount of investment, which I'll show you in the later slides. There is a very big amount of investments happening, not only in large caps but even in the mutual funds, mid caps also. So that is a good kind of indication that people are still not withdrawing money from the markets. They are putting not in stocks directly, but they are afraid, therefore they are putting in ETFs, and they are also putting in the mutual funds. Okay. Current market situation, I for one believe that, I'll tell you the reason why. 15 March Fed का results होगा on increasing rate of increase or not. They may not increase too much. They may only increase in what we were hearing earlier. They were going to increase by 50 BPS, about 50.5%. Now they are going to increase maybe by 0.25%. Somewhere near that time, our LIC IPO will be listed 14th March. मतलब 17, 18, 28 को list हो जाएगा. 68,000 crores are getting removed from the market, because people will remove the money from the large caps, from the secondary market, large caps, mid caps, small caps, and they will put in the primary markets. Because 68,000 crore is such a big amount, there will be market में liquidity का problem हो जाएगा. So I am seeing that problem which is parallel going to happen with your federal rate का increase. Inflation का तो problem है ही. तो ये सब चीज़ है जिससे हमको क्या सीखना चाहिए कि अभी हमको थोड़ा सेफ रहना चाहिए, बट मेरे को इंटरेस्ट अर्न मिनिमम 12%, 15% चाहिए, और वो मेरे को चाहिए. कहाँ से मिलेगा? आई विल गेट इट माई ETFs. आई एम सेइंग ETFs वेयर इट इज़ पॉसिबल, बिकॉज इन स्मॉल कैप्स अभी तक ETFs मेरे को मिल नहीं रहा है, एंड मिड कैप्स का अभी कपल ऑफ ETFs have started. So you can look at the ETF. I just removed the names. I'll tell you. Nippon ETF mid cap has started. So I don't know the performance, but if you see the Nippon ETFs, whether it is junior Bs or Bs or bank Bs or gold Bs, okay, or PSU bank ETFs, all these have done very well. I'll just give you an idea. I had shared this message also. last year from Jan 1 to 31st of Jan 2021, the Nifty Bs, which is your large cap, gave 25% gains. The junior Bs, which is Nifty 50, gave 29% gains. I'm reading my WhatsApp message which I had sent to you all. The bank Bs gave 14%, even though bank was down, but selective and proper movement in the bank index, and if the trailing is not proper, trailing is good and not bad, then still they have given a 14% interest, and PSU banks gave 38% interest. Gold gave -5. But the goal is changing because the things are changing now, because we are using more for hedging purpose. Don't expect this same percentage, but expect about say 15%, 18% ETFs में तुमको अच्छा gains मिलना चाहिए. Now I want you to be a conservative investor in this market. Be conservative. टेंशन लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. प्रॉफिट बुकिंग करना पड़ेगा. Especially now, what is the method we should do? अगर लार्ज कैप्स में मेरे पास बहुत होल्डिंग है, आई गॉट 300 स्टॉक्स, TCS के है, टाटा स्टील के है, and when I'm getting a good price, what does a good price means? 100% ऊपर है, 200% ऊपर है, तो थोड़ा 20% निकालो और कैश रखो, because in this 3 months period, coming 3 months like March, April, May, आपको मौका मिलेगा. Be patient for your price. You will get good scripts at low price. So I am not telling you to average on penny stocks. Next week I am going to tell you how to do. Look at the fundamentals. The shortcut में दिखाऊंगा. फिर in depth we'll see the fundamentals later. But I am going to show you how to see that your investment should be valuable. Okay? कभी नुकसान नहीं होना चाहिए. Protect your capital. Do not buy high PE stocks. But then if you have seen, I am contradicting myself by telling you to buy Titan. वो टाइटन का PE नीचे आने वाला ही नहीं है. टाटा एलेक्सी 80 से 40-50 तक आ जाएगा तो बहुत मेहरबानी. But if you see from the principles of some people, they will say, I will not invest in that. But if I want to invest in a stock which is going to go above, like multi-bagger kind of stock, you will have to buy some of the stocks like Titan, Tata Elxsi, FL India at relatively high PE. अभी वो कम हुआ है, 100 से 80s पे आया है सब, लेकिन 80s भी काफ़ी हाई है. वो 80 से अगर हम सोचते हैं कि 30-40 पे आएगा, तो वो तो मेरे ख्याल से सपना देखना है. मीन्स वी हैव टू कीप ड्रीमिंग, इट वोंट हैपन दैट वे. ओके, सो वी विल हैव टू बाय गुड स्टॉक्स एंड रिलेटिवली स्लोली एंड स्टेडीली. एवरी डिप पे मेरे को बाय करना पड़ेगा. नाउ थर्सडे का डिप एक था, लेकिन हमको पता नहीं है कि वो थर्सडे का डिप फाइनल डिप है कि नहीं. व्हाट आई एम रीडिंग, व्हाट आई एम सीइंग द एनालिस्ट एंड एवरीवन, माय फीलिंग एंड इवन एट लुकिंग एट द, आई हैव शोड यू द बफेट का इंडिकेटर मेथड से एंड इवन पी का बेसिस पे, there is a possibility that Nifty can come around 14,500 levels. कभी आएगा पता नहीं, कुछ एस्केलेशन होगा, एक्सट्रीमली बैड न्यूज़ होगा, हो सकता है. तो अभी क्या करना पड़ेगा, on Thursday's lows you pick up some, when the market comes down to that level, pick up some stocks whichever you want, then let it go further low. Supposing I want to buy 40 stocks, then I will buy in 3 or 4 tranches, 10, 10, 10 करके, और थोड़ा ट्रैकिंग आपको करना पड़ेगा. यू कैन नॉट से दैट आई विल नॉट डू ऑल दिस थिंग्स, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है. अगर टाइम नहीं है तो फिर ये मार्केट में एडवांटेज लेना निकल जाएगा, हाथ में से निकल जाएगा. सो पीपल आर डूइंग प्रॉफिट बुकिंग इन स्मॉल एंड मिड कैप्स, स्विंग स्टॉक्स यू शुड डू. लार्ज कैप्स में थोड़ा निकलना पड़ेगा अगर मार्केट बहुत ऊपर जाएगा तो. अगर नीचे आया और आपको जो मिला मौका, तो keep on buying in small tranches. These are all points you will have to note in your mind. Okay, don't keep on looking at your portfolio on a day-to-day basis. We will have to be little positive. Markets के लिए थोड़ा time लगेगा. Markets will not give you immediately positive results. But more and more retailers are putting money in your mutual funds, in small caps, mid caps. Okay, compared to the FIIs and DIS, they invest more in the large caps. You know, that day Tata Elxsi, I was tracking it that day, meaning Friday, इतना swiftly वो ऊपर गया, and it became so much that I wanted to buy that stock, but waiting for the right price and the right PE, I could not even think of buying it. Once again it ऊपर immediately पहुंच गया. तो ये this kind of volatility you will keep on seeing in the market. Remember on Thursday it was the VIX was around 30 or something, then it came down to 26. So VIX index is extremely high just now. And the situation can go from bad to worse. That is also another problem which we are facing. If the markets are already discounted, चलो ये war हो चुका, 800 पॉइंट गिरा, वापस उसके बाद पता चला कुछ होने वाला नहीं है, nobody is going to escalate further, 400 पॉइंट गेन कर दिया. But escalation can happen if some other countries, they start putting their, so just now we are reading that Canada, US, UK, they have started putting sanctions. Some of the major banks of Russia will not be able to do the transactions. Germany is already feeling the pinch because gas pipeline Nord level and Nord 1 and Nord 2 are there. Nord 2 is not commissioned, but Nord 1 is, which is already commissioned. Now the gas has stopped. So Europe will find problem. Russia से नहीं मिला crude and gas, तो problem तो होना ही है. So supply issues are coming up. Crude oil went to 105 that day on Thursday, came down to 98 later on Friday, I believe. Anything above 70 is going to be problematic for India. Crude oil 65, 70, 75 तक हम सहन कर सकेंगे, लेकिन अगर उससे ऊपर गया तो हमारा commodities will become very costly. Manufacturing costs will increase. Oil-based industries like Asian Paints and all chemical paints industries will have trouble. महंगा हो जाएगा. Russia is the second largest exporter of aluminium. Ukraine wheat का major exporter है, and these are the things which we are looking at. Some of these commodities which are being exported by Ukraine and Russia, and the world will not be able to, or they will not be allowed to buy. In such scenario, we'll see those commodities will become costlier. Hindalco is benefiting, National Aluminium is benefiting, but they are already up. They are at 520 levels and National Aluminium at 118 levels. So अभी ये बाई करना है कि नहीं, मैं अभी तक हिंडाल्को का नाम लिया नहीं है. Why I am saying, because I was seeing 540 levels as the highest, and then in a year's time around 650 levels. But अभी 540 के एकदम नज़दीक आके गया था वो. So if it is going down, then you pick up Hindalco if you want to. I am not telling you to buy this or that. Only I am just telling you what are the possibilities which you can look at. Don't blame me. Markets can be doing anything. Okay, I am just giving you the knowledge, and if you think it is right, you can consider it. Supply chain getting troubled. Europe-related exports, imports will get affected. Indian exporters will get affected. This kind of problems are definitely there. Okay, I'm just looking at my trading view is open or not. Yeah. So I'll see that a little later. I'll finish this slide. India is facing a problem of commodity prices increasing, crude oil increasing, companies' margins are getting reduced. The middle and small businesses which have got affected, 3-4 things happen together in 4-5 years time. First we had the denomination, what is that? What is the name? I forgot. Demonetization जैसा किया on the 500 and 1000 rupee notes. Then we had the GDP. Then in a year's time, we had this problem of COVID, COVID 1, COVID 2, and now still the business has not moved. So whatever we are seeing, the improvement is actually happening with the large ones, but the small and medium businesses are facing a lot of trouble. Even some of the big companies are facing margin pressure. The FMCGs have started increasing their prices by 3%, somewhere 5%. Inflation is already high. We are used to 7%, 8% inflation, 6% inflation. We are at the 6% level already. RBI want it at 4% plus or minus 2%. So 4 plus 2 is 6. We are already at 6%. Okay, financial problems are going to be happening. That is why government is seeing that some disinvestments happen, which is good. But how much successful will LIC IPO will be, I don't know today. I am reading contradictory views, but apply तो करेंगे, लेकिन immediately वो कितना advantageous होगा वो पता नहीं है. Because if the market goes down, it may happen that the IPO listing के बाद वो नीचे आ जाएगा. Some of the good ones like Zomato, Nykaa, Paytm, Policy Bazaar, all these big names, most of them their IPO का value से listed है below. Don't touch them as present because they have to come back to the right prices. Otherwise, you will be holding a stock which is say 2 years forward PE में है, तो उतना टाइम लगेगा उसको वहाँ तक पहुँचने के लिए, and you have already bought it at very high price, तो price rise increase होने की गुंजाइश ही नहीं है. Real estate, which was big noise, I remember, if you can remember, I used to say कि I am really skeptical why so much real estate में market ऊपर move हो रहा है. All real estate companies were doing extremely well in September. और मेरा एक statement था कि I am not very sure, just booking flats and final delivery is more important. Now we are realizing that बहुत सारे bookings हुए हैं, लेकिन वो delivery system is still far away, and after September, October जो peak हुआ, उसके बाद अभी वो नीचे है, and I see another 3 to 6 months before it comes up. Infrastructure yet to move. Investments आएगा उसके बाद 3 महीने के बाद, so at least आपको जून जुलाई लगेगा. Ferrous metals will get affected. Only few dominant companies like Tata Steel, maybe Jindal Steel, JSW Steel, अभी भी वहाँ भी उन लोग मार खा रहे हैं, may get. So I am going to keep only Tata Steel. I am going to keep only Tata Steel. The rest steel stocks like which I am holding are JSW, then Jindal Stainless. See, now I made one more mistake. When I was getting 220 on Jindal Stainless, मैंने खाली मेरा 50% reduce किया. This is the factor which we have in mind कि थोड़ा और मिलेगा तो, अभी थोड़ा और मिलने के बदले वो 180 पे आ गया. Now there is a ये सोच है कि we are looking at long term investor, but sometimes it is better to liquidate rather than hope for the better things. Because अभी ये Jindal Stainless will be lying with me till the time it comes to a reasonable good level, and that for in my mind the reasonable level was 220, और 220 पे आया in Feb first week में, तभी मैंने 50% reduce किया. I should have reduced more, and so even now I have bought it at 70. I bought that stock at 70. That from there I am bought. So that is the greed factor. That is the factor which we should take care of ourselves. Since last 5 months, FIIs are selling heavily. DIIs are making up and holding the markets. And the question which I asked in the group, कि कहाँ तक देगा? I am happy to tell you that good amount of investments are happening in this few months, also last 3 months, in the mutual funds, in large caps, mid caps, and small caps. So the AUMs are increasing. I'll show you that. So this is the positive news which I was telling you. New demat accounts are getting open. 2019 में 3.5 crores था, 2020 में about 5 crores, 22 में from 5 crores it has become now 8.3 crores. So near about double हो गया. The investments in mutual funds is increasing, redemptions are happening, but not big numbers. Large caps में 46.9% growth in 1 year. Investments, mid cap में 76% growth investments, and small caps में 101 something was there. So about 100% plus growth in 1 year. So what I'm trying to tell you is there is a good amount of money which the DIs are still having it, and hopefully we will be in a position to continue like this. The second good news is that GDP growth is increasing. Morgan Stanley and others have started improving our numbers. So they are expecting better growth from us, around 8.5-9%. Indian companies ka earnings are improving. That is a very positive side, because of which the price to equity ratio is improving, because price is in the numerator, denominator equity है, and if earnings are increasing, price to earnings ratio, sorry, not equity, price to earnings ratio are increasing. So denominator is earnings, and if the earnings are increasing, the PE will definitely become less. So what is the general rule for the PE? Any companies which are around 7-8 के बिलो PE होगा तो हम नहीं लेना चाहिए. अगर PE is above 8-10 to 25-30, we will consider those companies. And if the PE is very much above 25, 30, 50, 80, then we have to think whether we should buy them. Not many companies will get majorly affected, except for first 1 or 2 quarters. ये 2 quarter छोड़ना पड़ेगा till May June. Then we'll see the improvement which can happen. If FIs start investing once again after April May, then that will be a positive sign. So we'll have to wait for that sign for investments, wait for the market to move up. Good amount of investment is happening in gold. Okay, in last 1 year, real estate investment is not happening. That is not the positive news, because one of the reason is high investment cost. Not so easily liquid, you cannot sell it easily. Another bad news is bank FDs are hardly giving 5% returns. Even PPF is giving 7.1 returns. This is a good news. PE valuations have come down from 28-30% of the Nifty. It has come down to 21.20. Which sectors can do well are energy, oil and gas. Definitely the companies which I was looking at, I'm having the list in my hand. You can look at ONGC, GAIL, OIL, India, Oil India, sorry, not OIL, Oil India, and Indian Oil. The companies which were negative even in this is, according to what I was seeing at the fundamentals, was BPCL थोड़ा negative है and HPCL थोड़ा negative है. So if you are having the stocks BPCL, HPCL, you can hold, because they will improve with the quarters. But if you are wanting to buy Oil India, ONGC, Indian Oil and GAIL, they are good stocks, but don't buy too many stocks in public sector. This is my view, because अगर वो नहीं गिरा, इंक्रीज होना बंद हुआ, तो वो you will have to hold for 6 months, 1 year. So it is a double-edged sword. Okay, Reliance has not done so well, by the way. Okay, it is doing well only because of one reason: the expectations from Jio and the retail, Reliance retail, not from the energy sector point of view. But it will improve definitely, because currently everything is going under energy. So Reliance, finance and banking will do well, but you'll have to be